Now we're going to look at two equations that are equal to each other. These are called simultaneous equations. There's some really complicated simultaneous equations out there, but these are the easiest examples of them. Simultaneous means two things happening at the same time, right? So this is kind of what's happening here. Let me take a very similar example to what you might find in your test. Notice I'm doing certain parts of it in bold, just to make them stand out. And then let's say we have, I don't know, 3w plus 6. There we go. Alright, so what we're saying here is if we have a variable w, something we don't know, if we times it by 4 and take away 6, that gives us a certain answer, L. Over here, pardon me, if we do 3 times our variable, that we don't know what it is, add 6, we get the same answer. Simpler way of saying that, right? We figure that out, it gives us an answer. We figure that out, it gives us the same answer. So that means that this must be the same as this. Let me show you what I mean. Let's use an example with numbers. If you think of 8 plus 2, that gives you 10. If you think of 5 times 2, that also gives you 10. So that must mean that 8 plus 2 is the same as 5 times 2. That comes from there, that comes from there. They're both equal the same thing, so they themselves must be equal. Alright, we're going to use that same logic here to say that 4w minus 6 is the same as 3w plus 6. Alright? Okay, now we're going to solve this just like any other equation we've done before. A lot of the equations we've done before have just required just a couple of steps to them. This is an extra step because we have both letters and numbers on both sides of the equation. So what we're actually going to do this time is we're not going to do anything differently. But before we start, we're going to do this one thing. We're actually going to pick which side we're going to put the numbers on and which side we're going to put the letters on. I'm going to decide to put the letters on the left and the numbers on the right. There's no reason for that, I just feel like doing that. Okay, so let's try it out. We start with our sort of BIDMAS situation. Okay, where we do BIDMAS in reverse. Is there any subtraction here? Yes, there is, over there. So we're going to undo it by doing the opposite. We do the same change to both sides. I'm going to write it out a bit more fully this time. 4w minus 6, and then we add 6 to both sides. So 3w plus 6, and there's the extra plus 6, the same change that we're making. Right. On this left-hand side now, I've got 4 w's. I've got 4 w's. Right. Minus 6 plus 6. They cancel out. Because if it's minus 6 degrees and it gets 6 degrees colder, the answer is 0. That's a nice way of thinking of negatives, if you like. So it's just 4w on the left. Over here, we've got our 3 w's. Right. Plus 6, that's 12. Okay? Right, now things are starting to look a little bit more feasible. We want to move those 3 w's over to the left. Now, normally when we've sort of dealt with like 3w or 5x or 10y, we've been doing division. And that's because it's the last step. But here, we're trying to move all of the 3 w's over. If we divided by 3, we'd still have a w there. We're trying to move all of it over. So we're going to take away 3 w's from both sides. So on the left, we already had a 4w, and then we're taking away 3 w's. There's our equal sign. We had 3 w's. We're taking away 3 of them, and we still got that. Sorry, we still got that plus 12. Bring BIDMAS back up. Okay, 4w take away 3w. That just leaves 1w. 3w take away 3w leaves nothing, they cancel out, and we just have 12. So w equals 12. That looks about right to me, but I want to be 100% that I'm correct, alright? I'm going to test it out. I'm going to put w into here, and I'm going to put w into here. I'm going to see if I get the same number for both of them. So let's look at the first example. If I had 4w take away 6, and I'm going to replace the w with my answer 12 to see if it's right. So 4 times 12, because that's like 4w, take away 6. Okay, 4 times 12 is 48. And then I take away 6, and I get 42. Now, 3w plus 6, that means 3 times w, which is 3 times 12, and then add 6. Alright, 3 times 12 is 36. I add 6 to that, and I get 42. So it's given me the same answer for both of them. So that looks like a convincing case that that is the correct answer for my example. Now I think you're ready to go and try it yourselves with your example, where you have essentially exactly the same problem, just with different numbers. Alright, hopefully that's helped you out a bit.